Hello. Good afternoon, people. This is Huda, Kiasha, No Good Do Gooder, with the N-O and the K-N-O. Even if you don't see me on my N-O channel, I'm gonna get it back. I'm trying to set my phone up to where, where it look like I know what I'm doing. But I don't. I don't know. There it goes. Okay, my head looked crooked for a second. I'm only on here because I just wanted to. I'm not gonna say like I'm here to apologize to some people, but that might be how I should start it, you know? Meaning, there are people that wanted to go on this journey with me, that wanted to help me, that were upset that I didn't even ask for their help. And it wasn't that I didn't want your help or I didn't need it. You know, it was kind of one of those things where God is like, only you, no one else. No one else. Not because everybody was evil. It was more so one of those things where everybody has an opinion and everybody's opinion wants to be heard. And then it's like kind of execute my opinion, you know. Bring my opinion to life. And, you know, that's one of those things where God is like, nah, because this is your journey. This is your thing that you got to deal with. You're the only person that can do this. So, I can't take in the influences of others. Of any kind. Because whether or not you've been under mind manipulation or mind control, whether or not someone else influences you or not, whether or not you got good influences around you or not, the whole point of the journey with God is God doesn't want anyone else influencing you. Period. God doesn't care who it is. God doesn't care if it's your parents, your friends, your husband, your wife, your pastor, your preacher, your grandma. Nah. Because all these people don't see what you can see. All these people didn't get the vision, didn't get the download, you know. All these people just, without God being a dick and saying, hey, you don't qualify for this part of her mission because her idea is so unique that we don't want it tainted. We don't want it fucked over. We don't want it messed up. Not saying that that's what you're going to do, but if everything is influenced by your choices and your thoughts and your actions, then let me make this clear. If that is the case and you are chosen, right? And when the gods can sense and see that someone's trying to take you down the wrong path, they'll cut that path. That means they'll cut that person. That means like they'll tell you straight up, nah, stop seeing this person. Stop going around this person. Or they'll be like, whatever he's saying, agree to disagree, go on about the business. You know. It's a thing to the point where they have to drown out and get rid of all the noise around because they want you to hear them, not everyone else. It doesn't matter how they come in like wanting to plead or, you know, want to rule shit in like suggestions. It's the fact that God asked you. God ain't asked them. You know. And on top of it, they have the power to get rid of folk. You know, I have the power to do the same, but they have the power within to get rid of folk. Especially when you get your intuitive nudges or you get your angels talking to you or your ancestors and you don't want to listen. You know, and if I got you around me just being nice, and you know I'm not listening to the influence and being influenced to go the other way, okay, it's one of those things of you still wasting her time. And when they put you on a mission, they ain't got time for nobody to waste your time. Dang, what's up? You know, and you gotta respect that. And that's all I've been asking for people to do is, hey, lay off what you're doing. It's counterproductive, and you might not like that I'm handling this alone. But God said, she got to do it by herself. Because you did everything else by herself. People might have came through when I was sick. People might have gave me money to keep my life going. But the internal work and the outer work, the mental work, you know, the blood, sweat, and tears, whatever, the heartache or the triumphs, on me. And it's kind of like I'm so close to the finish line that they ain't gonna let nobody else, you know, rise to my occasion kind of thing. Because if that was the case, they'll set you on my path. You get it? And when you're not set on the path, you get kind of like knocked off the path. And then the way, let's say if I'm around you or something and you don't want me on your path or on my path, you're going to do some fucked up shit. You ain't going to even understand why. Because my energy will suck the devil on out of you. And you'll just be wilding out for no apparent reason. You know. And I can understand why. But you don't understand why. But it makes you want to do the most heinous shit to me. And that's when you're not healed. If you're healed, your mind is open. Like these eyes. You ready to learn something, grow something, do something, be something different. Share something different, change something. And then it starts to exude through you. Everybody has their own individual journey. And you gotta let people have that. Anybody just be like, oh, you want us to go on this journey together? The only time that is approved, technically, is if you are partnered with a twin, soulmate, or like a emperor. Because I'm just saying those because I'm the female. But, you know, if you're the other, you get partnered with the other half, counterpart, like. And, you know, I heard people say it a couple of times, like, yo, there's so many other suitable men out here that's good for her. So why is she focused on this one dude? Or why is she focused on this one dude? You know what I'm saying? And it's not that none of y'all don't matter, and it's not that y'all hadn't reached where you're supposed to be at. You know, this is like a longevity thing. And in order for God to correct the past, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go back in time. How you gonna go back in time without the back in time people, the originals? So in order for you to correct the future, it's kind of like you gotta correct the originals. All right? Because somewhere along the journey, somebody fucked up. That's all. You know. And it's time for it to be put straight. And I gotta go out the doors. You know. Not on some free. Stick 'em up. You know what I'm saying? We got a soul contract, motherfucker. No, it's not like that. But it's kinda. You know what I mean? So you don't know when you're about to get ran up on. But it's kind of like I gotta look at when you do. Like, don't shit your pants. Just, like, get to work. You know what I'm saying? Just answer the call. Like, you know, the motherfuckers start talking to you and shit. You be like, not hold that thought, but what? It's an undeniable thing. You know, when you come online. Just don't turn it away when you do. Stay present. It's kind of what I told myself when God told me to get rid of the fear. Immediately, I pictured the beginning of time. Beginning of time was pitch black dark. There was nothing. So either it was real quiet, like how you hear this, or it's just noisy. But either way it go, there wasn't no fear. Fear is created. You know, it's kind of like a person created fear, which we know that, but it's like the idea of it, the word of fear. And some things you can understand that are fabricated and have to be put together, a plan. Then others you can tell, you know, that shit real. And can't take that from somebody, you know. So it's like I had to go out the real other half of me, or the real other half of all of me's for 22 lifetimes, and correct them along with myself. That's the autocorrect thing I was saying at the beginning on my No Good Do Gooda channel with the N-O. Okay, if you're able to read my stuff. And you just have to, as God would say, go with the flow. Mainly because motherfuckers throw monkey wrenches and all your shit. Don't matter when, they just do. You just gotta understand there's more than 9 ways to skin a cat. Or like they got 9 lives. It's more than that. Because 12 planets. Then it's more than that because it's 22 chakras, 22 planes of existence. Then it's more than that because it's like you go back in history and you'll see there was a separation between the gods and the kings and the queens. But they had to give birth by a god. And it's like I birthed the 8 kings in the beginning, you know, in the past. And then when you get to leave and come back and create and do all these fun shit, motherfuckers be feeling themselves, and it's kind of like they forget all about the gods, you know? This is one of the ways where God is reminding the world don't do that shit. Just don't. You know? And then, how can I put it? The don't do that shit, that's like Mother God. Father God is like, why we even gotta show you? You know? You know what showing you would do to you. You would die. So why would you want to bring us to a point of non-existent? You'll still die. So what is the point of either you existing, or what's the point of you not growing? Because God just, they are angry at the stupidity. That's really it. It's kind of like, I've said before, this world that they show us is like 200 years ahead of where we are right now. They know that. That's with everything else. Besides the balance. Besides Christ. And besides spirituality. Because it's kind of like I'm the only one that figured out that we've been on a loop. And you might have seen it. And you might have thought it. But then that thought will slip your mind. And I'm telling you, whatever I talk about, if you figured it out, that means you're pretty similar to my black ass. And they probably wiped that bitch clean. Because they figured out, oh shit, these niggas starting to know something. And they growing. You know what I'm saying? So, just, we have to grow spiritually. At least to get 200 years ahead. Okay? That's like what's really going on. And it's like the Back to the Future. If you go back in history, after they've enslaved us for hundreds of years, they break us down. And with the abuse, with the fear, with the beating and all of that, it's to kind of push our gifts down. They don't want that shit to rise up. Because that shit could do some shit like I did. Like change the whole trajectory of the fucking world. But, you know, if it's more than me out there, they like, oh, we're fucked. Because if one wakes up, all of them wake up. And so God is not a dumb man or woman. They wake up the beginning. The beginning will always know how to recreate the beginning. The beginning never dies. It always still exists because you're always going to need it. You know? And so what I did throughout my lifetimes, I obtained things that God needed to make me still relevant and needed today to stay like a God. You know? I didn't disrespect God. I didn't disrespect the order. I just was always curious and maneuvering through the business to figure it out. Because when you get attacked so fucking much, it's like, what the fuck is going on? And I want to know something. You know? I said before, there's plenty of times where the guys gave me out. It's like, yo, you can tap out right now. We'll beam your ass up here right now. I was like, nah. I'm going to stay. I want to see. I want to know who's doing this to me. Because I'm going to do more than fix this shit. This shit ain't going to happen no more. You know? It was one of them things where it was like, you know when something on your radar and it's like you ain't really got words, but there's some words there up under you, you know, and it's deep. But people get scared of that motherfucker when it come out. But you know what? God said that's God. The way God put it to me, never let the devil disrespect you. And I always would say, yes, sir. I understand. You know? So, that's kind of like a gist of the reason why I gotta go out to the beginning of my other half. Because as you trying to kill his motherfucking soul, you in turn you killing mine because we're the same. It's like, how do y'all motherfuckers don't know we the same? Because you're trying to take my essence and shit out of me and give it to the crazy bitch. I don't even care if the crazy bitch is a cousin of mine or whatever. It's just the fact you're trying this shit. It's like, you watch too many fucking movies. Or you really did what the stupid ass scientists just be like, no, let's just see. Y'all motherfuckers will keep going back to the drawing board and shit and be like, oh, let's try this one, let's try that on. I be hearing this stupid ass shit like, what the fuck do you want me to do with these motherfuckers, yo? Because this shit is not clicking. So it's like one of the things is, God put me in a position to tell you that, yeah, this shit ain't gonna keep going on, yo. Because this is dumb as fuck. Okay? I think if you wanted to become a God, you would just ask. You know, because we got all the information and shit. You know, nah, y'all want to put us under the labs and poke us and all that shit. And it's like, what fucked my head up was the fact that when I go back and I look at history in the Bible, this shit been done so many motherfucking times. We had technology. We won't hoing around with some goddamn leather shit on and some feathers. Like, they've been here, all this technology and shit. You see it. You just programmed not to really believe it. But you see it in the goddamn tablets. They're telling you, you are more ahead than these motherfuckers. Okay? But if you don't realize it, they can just keep doing what the fuck they doing. And I'm just the realization of, or the example of, when you fucked around too long and you ain't want to find out, and you've been dodging God for thousands of fucking years, he trapped you in the original to catch your ass. That's how I became the bait and the trap. Now, let's turn into the hunter. Because, you know, God just keep plucking y'all motherfuckers off my energy. That just got your ass. And it's kind of a two-way street. If God feel like, damn, motherfucker gotta go. I don't even want to, you know, I can call judgment on a lot of shit. I call judgment on a lot of shit. But I'm just saying, I don't want to be the one to judge you. I just want to, let me just hand you over to the real motherfuckers. Even though I'm at the real motherfucking table. You know. So it's a little out of touch. I'd rather just see how it's done than to just do it. You know. But y'all just start doing shit. You don't even give a fuck. You just doing it. It counts when you think about some shit. And if God does things that don't kill people. You know how much shit just we could reproduce, or we could just produce, or it's like, yo, So much shit out here. Nobody should be robbing nobody for nothing. Not even spiritually. That shit blew my fucking mind. Okay? And if y'all motherfuckers been around for thousands of years stealing, and then I've been around for thousands of years being stole from, I ain't need much of the history to figure out, oh, yeah, you owe me and you don't want to pay me. You rather just whack my ass off and then be like, yeah, debt paid. And God's like, nah, that motherfucker on my team and that motherfucker supposed to get paid money that's mine and y'all motherfuckers owe me. So it's like the energy of God is in me telling y'all, you get it? Like, yo, you thought your plan was great. No, it's not. No. But you're not, I guess, how can I say it? I'm not the only one that came to just, like, figure some shit out. To change some shit. But what I realized is it was done gradually with our folks. Like, everybody contributed something, you know, when they would come back. And then the others contributed the downfall when they would come back. And I'm going to end it with this, but when God comes between your ears and tell you to correct something, and it's from the beginning of time. So essentially everything here is my child. Okay? And I have like the strength to hold it, to do it, to change this world and all the others. When I knew I could tap into this world or other planets or even the galaxy, I said, what are we fighting for? It makes no sense. Why is it so much division? It makes no sense. And even in the ethers, I stretch my arms out wide. Still couldn't find an end. Why are we fighting? It makes no sense. When anyone can have anything if they are taught what to do. Why are we fighting against being taught something new to do? It makes no sense. And if you keep on wanting to suppress the people that made everything from the beginning, which was easy, made things easy for everyone here on this planet, and you think you're going to continue to give them a hard time just for being great, no, that's over. You know, what God had to look at is even when things were stolen and you wanted to have the power, it's like you have a record too of what you did with it. And everyone knows that that record would have to be corrected the right way. And so when you don't want to correct it the right way with the people that are in place, and you think you can trick God and stall out God and throw God off, I'm just the example, real one, you know. All this is real. That you can't. You can't. There's always someone smarter than you, bigger than you, taller than you, you know, got something more than you. It's okay. You challenge it and you move on. You know, if you lose, stop fighting like a little old bitch. You know, get yourself together and try that shit out again. People gonna say shit regardless. Because they think because they got a mouth until God shut that motherfucker up. And sometimes you just gotta show people to shut their ass up. You know. And when people think they can be you, it takes on a whole different ball game when you gotta correct some shit. And all I had to say at that time was, they're willing to destroy the whole world because one person, me. All because they only thought about this lifetime. They wanted everything else from the previous lifetimes that they didn't work for. And they wanted this lifetime's too. And each time, it's kind of like how people were taking something back. Not everything. In order to balance it out, everything had to be balanced. The energy was number one. When people have energy that can throw off the equilibrium of the planet, that's something. That's dangerous. That's psychotic on a whole nother level. And you know what was very scary for me? Is when they came to me and they told people were telling me that people wanted to kill me. And when I find out what they want to kill me for, you know? And I said, they have no idea the big problem that they have brewing already. Because we all could essentially die just by the energy alone. Because it's the frequency that's beyond chaos that they were wanting to usher into this planet. And God wasn't having it. It was kind of like, this shit been done before, fucked up shit before, and we helped correct it to save a lot of y'all, and this is the things that we're getting? Hell no. No. So when a person that usually not online, okay, and that's not going after a whole lot of people, but I'm talking to certain few, okay, trying to tell them to stop, change, let this go. You know, it's not a challenge, it's not a contest, this is no like competition. Shit, I'm already doing the fucking job. Because you've already fucked up shit so bad that, damn, any worse, it's beyond you being out of here. It's like your whole family you built, your whole fucking legacy could just be dumped in the fucking etheric trash. Because all the shit you did. You know, like the shit you read about the generational curses in the Bible? Yeah. So, I mean, you gotta correct that shit. I definitely can't be thinking about myself. And I definitely can't be thinking about the motherfucker that's fucking this bitch up. Because you might not know how angry God is, but I do. And that nigga ain't playing. And the mama ain't either. You know. So imagine when you can get a whooping spiritually and a whooping physically. And then you get the balance of a whooping in between. That's just me doing like this tug of war. Like, that's essentially what's going on. Because if I balance out my world and I can get his world balanced, then this thing starts to balance itself on out. Because it's a trickle-down effect. You know. And sometimes I had to trickle down like more love for this bitch to get in balance because of all the shit motherfuckers was just repeatedly doing. Like, won't stopping at all. They was just on some shit. You know? So, I go after, like, the original people. They'll know who they are because they'll resonate with this shit I'm saying. And they'll wake up and they'll be realizing, like, damn, I'm on the wrong motherfucking team. Let me jump ship over here. You know what I'm saying? Because what's going on now ain't that, it ain't that 100, 400, 600 year, like, temporary shit. No, this is the lifetime shit going on. So, it's like, be prepared for your lifetime shit. Just to heaven coming to earth. I think I would want to get right for that shit. And that don't mean that you gotta be a liar or a thief or a stealer or I don't know, a shit talker, a hater, and all this other shit. You just be your fucking self. If you think about lying, stop yourself. You know, you got fucked up habits, you gotta learn how to control them shit, so just get them shit stuff if you can't control them. You know. But the key is, the more this is clear, everything else is easy. So get rid of your mental disorders by, learning them. You can learn them and take your medication, or learn them and be on natural medication. But you learn them. So you know how to work through them. And you understand them. And then it's not a disorder anymore. Okay? Life is only hard if you make it. So if anything keeps, like, presenting itself to me, I gotta see why the fuck this keeps showing up, because I'm getting tired of seeing it. And then when I know who doing what, to a degree, I act accordingly. I chose to do things a certain way because I realized everybody wanted me to get out of character. And I'm like, damn. Not out of character like a character in a fucking movie. Not that shit. I'm talking about just my demeanor, my whatever. They want me to get back to my old person because I felt it. But I didn't. Because with God keeping me away from all of y'all. Woo. I felt that shit. So, I just rechanneled that shit to some shit that I wanted to see out in this bitch. Which excluded all y'all fuck shit. So, excuse me for not catering to the bullshit. Once you've been through enough of it, you don't want to keep going through shit. We're gonna get off of here. I just wanted to say those things and, alrighty. Again, this is, No Good Do-Gooder, Kiki, Puda. Them things is good. And I'm an empress that's eating some caramel popcorn. Alright now. Later, folks. Who is the bug?